Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the By the Riverside podcast. I am Chris.
And I'm Lee.
And I believe this is episode 25.
You're correct.
I am correct?
It's very close to 25.
Very close. How close is very close?
Yeah, spot on.
Am I like Trump accurate or accurate?
Did you see was interviewed today by a guy on Fox? Did you see that?
I have seen that. I have read about that.
And he pulled a percentage out of how many people survive.
Oh.
And he absolutely made it up on the spot. It was like, it has like 98.78 percentage livability. It's like, whoa.
I just love the fact that he has said that he's not sure if he'll leave office if he loses.
No, that's right. He'll decide then.
He'll decide. It was kind of like, that's kind of you're meant to do that.
That's pretty sure that's just how it works.
That's how elections work. Anyway, let's kick it off.
Let's do it.
We're coming here live in video as well as on the audio streams. So I feel sorry for anyone watching this. I do apologize for my looks, but that's just what I was given.
That's what he says to all the ladies and men. Actually, everybody.
Actually, I don't get to say it to anyone. Oh, sad. Anyway, I believe it's time for Lee's Threes.
Yeah, there you go.
Lee's Threes.
Got some good ones this week. All of them up to this point have been trash. So this one's going to be a goodie.
It's going to be like Kanye West's campaign speech.
I won't cry. Actually, I might.
I want you to.
These are touching.
I'm going to make you cry.
All right, number one. Man suffers serious injuries after grabbing bull by the horns in Brentwood.
Well, they do say never grab the bull by the horns. You'd think he would have learned that one by now, but I thought that was quite common knowledge.
Josh Jennings, the owner of Meadows Mirth Farm in Brentwood, said around 8 p.m. Friday, neighbours alerted him to bulls on his property. Jennings said the two animals seemed agitated and he calmly worked to get them off the crops until their owner and police arrived. This is a very boring story. He's in the hospital. Okay. Police assisted the owner, blocking traffic along the way. They were within a few yards of their destination when police said another individual got involved and did not listen to instructions. That man was told to stay back by police, but he approached and took hold of the bull's horns, which resulted in him being gored.
Wow. I mean, next you know, he's going to be looking at a gift horse in its mouth.
That's right.
Like,
and he's in big trouble. So there you go, kids.
Yeah, the lesson here is don't grab a bull by its horns.
Sergeant Daniel Wicks said, I think it's very tragic.
Oh, did the guy die?
No. He's in the hospital with serious, non-life-threatening injuries.
Well, in that case, it's funny.
Oh, wait, hold on. Police said they had to shoot the bull to prevent further damage.
Oh, that poor bull.
That's the tragic part.
That's the tragic part.
The idiot in hospital he's not sad about.
No. That poor bull. Now I'm sad for the bull.
That's...
All right, do you have something that's a little lighthearted, a little bit more lighthearted than a poor bull dying because some dude grabbed its horn?
Maybe, but this is Lee's Threes, so probably not. In Ottawa. Now, I've never been to a shrink.
You mean a psychologist?
Correct.
Yes.
I
have.
I've seen plenty of TV shows and movies depicting. Is it that different than?
Yeah, I've never had to lie down on a couch.
only for the sex shrink.
Well, that's only for my auditions. Yeah.
So, in Ottawa, a psychiatrist has been told to stop falling asleep in patient sessions.
I do apologize for that noise in the background. That's my cat. She found a box from Amazon and is currently having a lot of fun with it.
So an Ottawa psychiatrist has been warned by the College of Physicians and Surgeons to stop falling asleep during sessions with patients.
How bad does that make the people feel that you're going in there to get help, and some of them probably think that I'm a really boring person, and then the shrink is falling asleep.
Hello, are you awake? Hello.
It's like
The regulatory board told the psychiatrist, identified only as Dr. It looks like Dr. Nick, but it's not.
I honestly thought then you were going to say
NJK.
Dr. Nick. Yeah.
That he needs to stay awake while treating patients after one of them complained he had fallen asleep at least 5 times. The patient felt powerless when her psychiatrist in an audible hospital setting kept dozing off. She explained, for example, that she had lived a life of invalidation, keeping secrets to herself because she thought no one would care. And his falling asleep in the process made her feel weak and unimportant.
Exactly. And it would, because they're there to help. And if they're falling asleep while you're talking to them.
So anyway, I think he's okay, but he's just got to...
He needs to actually... I think he needs to find a different job.
I'll get some Red Bull into him before. And finally, in these threes this week, Ogden man arrested for printing porn at Walmart.
Wow.
So... Didn't expect that one, did you?
I did not.
You think in the days of cell phones and internet and
Streaming pornography.
You wouldn't need to do this.
No.
But apparently in Utah, maybe that
Well,
tells
that
us
explains a
little
lot.
bit. An Ogden man is facing a felony distributing charge after police say he was spotted printing pornography at a Walmart photo center. According to the probable cause statement on May 28th, witnesses complained to Walmart Loss Prevention saying a man later identified as 22-year-old John Hughes was printing off pornographic images at the Walmart photo center. So he was, looks like he was arrested. My favorite part of the story is police say Hughes admitted to printing off the pornography so he could, and this is quoting, send it to the homies who were locked up.
Okay, fair enough. If you want to send porn to people that can't access it.
Doing it for the homies.
But wouldn't it be better to just buy a printer and do it at home?
Or here's an idea, buy a magazine. I don't know.
They probably don't make them anymore because they
maybe.
don't make any of the picture or people magazines anymore. They're not allowed to sell them anymore.
Right. It's a shame. I'll check that. Make a note. Well, there you go.
Well, that was Lee's threes. What an emotional roller coaster with quite the climax at the end there.
There you go. Doing it for the homies once again.
Doing it for the homies. One for me, one for my homies. It's
makes it even.
All right. Let's get into the meat and bones of the story.
Interesting segue there after what I just read.
Yes, unintentional boner there. Dumb ways to die.
Right.
Now, there are lots of dumb ways. I believe we have discussed this previously, but it was about the Darwin Awards.
Right. Still dumb ways to die.
Still dumb ways to die. I want to talk about dumb ways to die, or dumb ways that people can die.
Like hypothetical.
Can be hypothetical, can be real, but not a Darwin Award winner.
Right.
Sort of person. We're not talking about a specific person who has died.
Right.
Talking about a dumb way that you can die, like, for instance, drinking too much water.
And that has happened.
That has happened. And it's a pretty stupid way to die.
Like they drown officially?
I
guess.
It actually washes out a lot of the nutrients.
Ah, right. Setting fire to your hair.
That is a dumb way to die.
Using your private parts as piranha bait.
Speaking of...
So should you be so lucky for it to actually hit the water without having to get completely submerged? I'm talking about a more gifted...
Yes. Well, do you remember there was a competition a few years ago when the Wii was released? And I can't remember who did it, but there was a competition which was hold your pee for a Wii.
Oh, right.
And so there was a competition. They had to drink a certain amount of water, and then whoever held on the longest won a Wii.
Okay.
And the person held on for, I think it was around 7 hours.
Right.
Oh, I'm not actually. I have no idea about the actual time.
That was a Trump.
That was a I trumped it, but it was a long period of time, and they died from holding in their pee.
He held his wee. He held his pee for 70 years. Wow. I didn't know you could die from that. What is bladder burst? I need the info.
Well,
just make it up. It's fine.
You want me to go full Trump? You never go full
he
Trump.
Inflated and he flew away into a volcano.
Yeah, it blew up and he went to little bits and then grew into little men and ran off and they became Donald Trump.
Right. No, that makes sense. Get your toast out with a fork. That's a classic.
Playing Russian roulette alone.
Yep.
It's a pretty dumb one.
Letting your mum to count to 3. I never got that threat as a kid.
No.
I just got the wooden, like the drawer was open and the wooden spoon came out.
Yeah, I got the wooden spoon. But what I did with my son is I never counted to 3. I counted from 3 down.
Right. Like a
because
countdown to
if you're getting up to 3, they know that you're going to stop. But if it's coming down, it's like, oh.
Right. It's psychological.
Exactly. Psychological warfare.
Did you get that from the psychiatrist when they didn't give you a couch to lie on?
Yeah, but when he fell asleep, I read one of his books.
What about a Corona party? Hey!
Hey! That's actually happening.
It is a dumb way to die.
It is a dumb way to die.
It
is a very dumb way to die. Stabbing yourself with a spoon?
Yep, that's pretty dumb. So I saw this one on Mythbusters. They've got all the Mythbusters, and rest in peace, Granny Mahara.
Yes,
that's shocking.
That was
news.
very sad.
Very sad news. They've got all I think maybe 10 seasons or something on Amazon Prime now.
Oh, nice.
So I'm watching them from the beginning, and one of the first episodes they tested breast implants that expand in a plane and explode. So this one says getting really cheap breast implants that are filled with air instead of silicone, hopping into a plane and having your chest literally explode all over the dashboard.
Wow.
And the first comment, explosive boobs, the best booby trap. Yep.
That is the ultimate booby trap, isn't it? It's like suicide boobs.
It is. It is on that same vein, suicide selfies. So when you don't mean to kill yourself.
Oh, yes. Like people that climb to the very top of
Yep.
buildings and stuff. And
Yep.
go to
I know there's a place in Victoria that like is notorious for people falling off the cliff because they get so close, yet so far from being alive.
Speaking of other things like that, climbing to the top of things is climbing into zoo enclosures.
Ah, yes.
Just like I believe, did we speak about this last week? Where a guy jumped into a zoo enclosure and got eaten by a tiger.
Is it last week?
I think it was last week.
Don't remember what happened yesterday.
I mean, yeah, I believe it was last week. I mean, I could have dreamt it.
That's right. Maybe you did it last week.
I probably did. That explains it. And none of this is real. I'm actually dead.
No, that's a good one.
Here's like an all-time classic.
Mm-hmm.
Self-asphyxiation while masturbating.
Yeah.
That is a pretty dumb and embarrassing way to die.
I mean, you probably don't care once you're dead.
Well, once you're dead, no, but your family has to live with the fact that
Then
you were that guy.
Then they have to have an elaborate, he was on drugs.
He was
Like that's the better option. He's a drug dealer.
Someone's called it the Carradine.
The lady who thought a taser was a vibrator.
Wow. That's quite shocking.
It is quite shocking. I don't know how that worked. I guess that would get you off.
Well, some people are into weird things, each to their own.
My grand's dad worked for the General Post Office in the 30s and died when he tried to come back down a telegraph pole and fell because someone had stolen his ladder. It's not a dumb way to die.
That's not dumb at all. That's not his fault. That's not his fault at all. That's an asshole way to die.
And then you find out it was your pesky workmate. Gotcha.
Fucking Daryl.
I hate you. Yeah, that's painful. So yeah, climbing.
Actually, this is a good one. Refusing readily available medical treatments for reasons of religious belief.
Yes.
Because my argument for that is they're like, God will cure me.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's your belief, then did God not put this doctor on earth to create this medicine to help you with this disease?
No. No, he didn't.
Damn it. Foiled again.
That reminds me of how Steve Jobs died. Of course, the famous Apple inventor.
Self-asphyxiation.
No, he died from cancer.
Yes.
Liver, I think it was liver. But up to that point of him getting a liver transplant, whichever, kidney, maybe it was kidney, I can't remember. Anyway, he thought he could veganize his way to health before then they went, actually, you're dying, you need to get a transplant. And then...
You didn't get an eye kidney?
No, he didn't get an eye kidney.
And
if he did, it was the last year's model. So it was useless.
Needed an upgrade.
What about leaving a dildo stuck up your ass for a week because you're too embarrassed to go to the hospital?
That is, sounds like a very uncomfortable way to die. Sounds like a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That deserved more. That was a great joke.
That was good. That was good. Launching fireworks from your ass.
Yes, I've seen a lot of videos on that on YouTube.
Oh, people doing it.
People you know the ones you can get that that you stick them into the ground and they're like the classic Roadrunner kind of one.
Yeah.
Like those ones. People stick them like in their pants or something, like, or even I guess some would stick them in their butt crack, light them, and then so they get all the flames and stuff straight onto them. And then they run around crazy. Some
would. Are we talking from experience here, Chris?
Am I dead?
No,
Possibly.
You're just very good at it.
I just have a fireproof butt crack.
Tide Pod, yep, I'll pay that one. And when your mum sees you masturbating in your room because you forgot to lock your door, rest in peace.
Well, from the videos I've seen online, she'll probably join in.
That's right. Ooh. Reopening schools, that's a good one.
That's yes.
Yep.
Yes. Or in our case, the Victorian border.
Yes. My grandfather's eyesight was failing, but he refused to wear spectacles. So one day he's out walking his goats, falls off a cliff and dies.
It actually reminds me of the Segway owner who died driving a Segway off a cliff.
That's payback. That's what that is.
But see, he wasn't actually the inventor. He'd bought the company later. Right. And then was driving one.
That's pretty good.
Well, I want to move on to a superpower.
Okay. You want to get one or?
Well, this is one. If you could freeze time for 10 seconds, what would you use that for? And I can tell you what one thing I would do all the time with that. I would freeze time. I would dack someone.
I was about to say dack people.
Like leave their underwear on, but just drop their pants and then just wait. Just, so people are just
like every boss you've ever had in a meeting.
just random times.
Yeah. Every boss.
In job interviews.
Yeah, that's right. So do I get the job? Oh my God. Someone said killing mosquitoes. I don't.
No, I understand that because they would be frozen in the air, so you could kill them before they get to you.
There is a thing called bug spray.
Yes, but this is more fun. This is like Mr. Miyagi and using the chopsticks.
That's true. You could still use the chopsticks.
You could still use the chopsticks.
If you were good enough, you could just still...
You could even eat them with the chopsticks if you wanted to.
That's true. Do you know these people who hide a ball under cups would end their careers?
Or you could make a fortune out of them.
That's true.
Because right before they you get to choose, you could freeze time, have a look.
Yep.
See where the ball is.
You know what? Oh no, it's not really feasible. I was like, when you see idiots driving on the road, you got to freeze them and put a tree in front of them. But that's probably not going to happen.
Probably a little. I mean, you could, but you've only got 10 seconds.
That's right.
So you don't have enough time to go and actually get an excavator, dig up a tree.
I think we might have spoken about this in past.
We do like to spork a lot.
There was a TV show where a chick could freeze time, and she would put her fingers together like that, like touch the fingertips
She'd
together,
dock, yeah.
and it would stop. Finger dock, and time would stop, and she could then go around and do stuff, and all the actors had to like. Anyway, she touched them, and then they would be able to move, and they'd be like move.
That would have ruined the fun.
That's true. Depending where she touched them.
Oh, good point.
So,
but that reminds me of the old Twisties ads. Remember when they take a bite of the Twisties and everything would freeze? And
was that Twisties?
That was a Twisties ad. And then they'd bite again and time would flow again.
There you go. What about saving things you accidentally dropped?
Yes. If you dropped a cup or something, you could freeze it.
You could play ping pong on your own. That seems like a lot of work.
It'd be some good exercise, though.
This is a good one. Thinking of a good comeback in a conversation. I'm not too bad.
I'll get back to you on that one.
we can do it in a podcast. We can just freeze time.
We can freeze time, but I'm not going to. So,
someone says gambling.
Yep. Well, gambling actually would be a good one because you could freeze time if you really wanted to cheat. You could freeze time, go around, look at everyone's cards.
That's true.
And then sit back down.
You'd also need to know how the game works. But what about the game with the ball, roulette?
Well, yeah, you could freeze time at the start,
stop it,
put it
and
right
pop the
where
ball,
you want,
and then just slow it down. And I like it. Let's do it.
You could pretend to teleport.
That's true.
Until someone says, "Do it through a wall."
Do it from here to China. Be a magician. I'm pretty sure people can already do that without freezing time.
Yeah, that's already a poor career choice.
Yeah, especially at the moment. Whatever thing you're doing in your room, as soon as you hear the doorknob being turned, activate the power.
I like this one. Pulling out a wedgie.
Yep. Yep, that's not bad. Carrying the cat away just before they vomit on the rug.
Yes.
You know what'd be good? Doing it, farting right near someone, then going away.
That's
like just
I believe
splitting,
that
like
that's
just-
the Click. Remember Adam Sandler did that in Click.
Oh, did he?
When he paused time and farted in David Hasselhoff's face.
That's right. That's a bit long time.
And I think he also punched him a couple of times as well.
Yeah. Talk shit to somebody at the top of a staircase. Wait for them to start walking up the stairs to confront me in freeze time and moving them back to the bottom of the stairs over and over again. I thought that was going to go dark, but it didn't.
That's a good one. I like that. That's quite clever. Someone says become an assassin, which is kind of dark, but you could get away with things.
I guess if you're into it.
But the thing is, there's still like DNA and all that kind of stuff. So it would be more difficult to get away with now than, say, 20 years ago.
That's true. That's true. It'd be really good at boxing or UFC, or I would get hit once and forget I had a superpower.
What you'd have to do is the second the fight starts, you'd have to freeze time, get a couple of hits in,
That's right.
and then do it. So
Constantly freeze time. What else we got here? Run out of the theatre, church, movie, etc. without people noticing would make bathroom breaks so much easier.
that is true, and you wouldn't miss any of the movie.
Well,
But you do only have 10 seconds.
You only have 10
so
seconds.
you'd have to like freeze, 10 seconds, freeze, 10 seconds.
so you have to be a furiously fast shitter. Dodging a bullet?
Again, you'd have to be super quick.
And also, how many bullets are coming at you
That's a good point. Like, are we
that
talking
you
like...
need to dodge? Do you live in like...
I'm guessing this person must be from America, so
yes, actually quite a
probably
few.
all the bullets.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they're going to junior high. That'll do it.
I remember my first school shooting.
Um,
But yeah, I think it would be great for pranks.
Oh, it would totally
Like,
be
just
good
for
free.
mucking around, screwing around with people, like just like randomly placing things in front of them,
absolutely.
and then having it just suddenly disappear.
Yeah.
And
Or when they're walking in front, just put a chair in front of them. Where the fuck did that come from?
or just have them sitting down and then just pull the chair out from underneath them.
Or just dropping random shit, like just to freak them out. That'd be good.
Just keep refilling their glass. They don't really like. Let them
Yeah,
drink
that's
up.
right. Oh, what about just look near an ATM machine and pause at the moment the money comes out? Yeah, that'd be. There are cameras though.
There are, yeah, but if the cameras would have to freeze as well, then wouldn't they?
That's true.
But you would also be the suspicious looking dude hanging out at an ATM, like
They'd find you somewhere.
exactly.
That'd make a good X-Files episode. What else we got here? Take a look at your crush, freeze time before they notice, look away just before time becomes unfrozen, rinse and repeat.
That's just creepy.
Correct.
That's real stalkerish.
They've thought way too long and hard about that.
Yeah,
Stealing fries off other people's plates.
that's the.
I don't know if I want to take other people's food. Like people I know, sure.
Yeah, but then you don't have to like freeze time for that. You just do it.
That's true. If you're a fast runner, Usain Bolt is one of the greatest chip stealers of all time.
I would beat you. I would beat Usain Bolt in a riding race
That's true.
because it takes him about 10 seconds to get to the end.
I think
you freeze at the beginning. It'll take me about 10 seconds to get near the end.
I think he would still beat you.
And he probably would. Yeah, I don't have the best cardio in the world.
Wait, can I have a minute? The career I'd want to go into with that power is emergency medicine, a large trauma centre. This power would mark the difference between life and death, and that's a job where it would frequently make a difference. Well, that's very noble of enormous catfish. That's the name.
Something tells me they're not who they say they are. I like this one. Grabbing the last bit of food before anyone else does.
But see, I was raised not to take that.
Yes, but the thing is you could do it without anyone
People
knowing.
wouldn't know.
So you could take it, say it was like the last biscuit, or the last slice, but quickly eat it in that 10 seconds. No one knows who to do that.
You got chocolate.
Apart from the crumbs. Why are the crumbs suddenly on you?
Stealing jewelry from a jeweler. Cool, but I don't know what then you do with it. You get a
Jeweler.
cash converters or something. Once you have you see like jewel thieves, and I guess back at the olden days it was
I think
early 2000s.
back in 1993, before technology was invented,
Back when you had the bag and the
with the dollar
black
with the
outfit.
dollar sign on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
Hey, you'll never catch me.
Back then it would have been useful. I'm not sure what you do with it now.
No. Plus, I'd feel really guilty afterwards, just like any of the ones like killing people.
Or
hurting
you'd feel
someone.
great because you had all this lovely bling.
Yeah, but I'm not really a bling person. I mean, have you seen me?
It's true. Maybe that'd make you feel better.
No. It really
Placing
wouldn't.
moustaches on people.
Drawing moustaches on people would be fun. People would be like, just hit the moustaches on everyone. Just
And when it kicks off again, just go, that is not funny.
that is so inappropriate.
I would double the time I last in bed. That's good. That's not bad.
That's a very smart use. I could last at least 20 seconds then. I'm very out of practice.
Well, I think that is all the time we have,
That is
Christopher.
all the time we have for this episode. Where can they find us, Lee?
On the internet, you can go to bytheriverside.net.
Yes, you got it.
It's all about the confidence.
We're half a century in, and you still can't get it right.
What can you just get ebay.com? I'd remember that.
Because I spend too much money at eBay.
So you can find us at bytheriverside.net. You can find us on Bookface at facebook.com/bytheriverside podcast. You can find me at my website, leestoker.com, or on Twitter at Lee Stoker. Chris, where can they get you?
You can find me on Twitter, where I very rarely do stuff at Seabeg for Mercy. on Facebook and Instagram at the Chris Begg.
Fantastic.
And you can go to my website, chrisbegg.com.au, but you won't find anything there
I don't think I've ever gone there.
because there's nothing to see.
My browser blocked me.
Yeah, probably would. It'd be from my previous porn career. It's
Well,
on that note, we shall bid you adieu, and we shall see you at some point in the future, probably next week.
there's a very good chance. Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.